Well, happy birthday to my baby brother. Am going to be 80 years old. I can't believe it. Where has the time gone? Anyway, this is going to be a special treat for you, Elmer, because we can't come to see you, you can't come to see us, but I'm talking to you from my living room thanks to my granddaughter, Mona Moore. Okay, how well I want to say hello to our beloved Susie, all my nieces, wonderful nieces and nephews, and all of their families. This is really a treat for me. And what a birthday greeting it's going to be for you. So you can see, here I had a birthday not too long ago, and this old gal was 89, but I'm still kicking. Not too high, but I can still kick up a little storm. Okay, Elmer, how well I remember the day you were born. It was in that old Zimmerman house on a cold winter day, and our dad had gone to get our neighbor lady, Mrs. Spitz. She delivered you. You know, Mom and Dad's bedroom was always an iceberg. How that poor dear lady had 9 babies at home, I will never know. But anyway, our dad was trying desperately hard to keep us younger kids away from the bedroom. Well, we were curious, and we weren't about to stay away. So I can remember our dad coming out of the bedroom carrying this oilcloth, an old tablecloth, and we asked him, "What you got there, Pop?" And he said, "Oh, it's okay, it's just some garbage I gathered up, and I'm going to take it down and put it in the furnace." Well, you know as well as I do what it was. It was your afterbirth. But anyway, considering all the bad things that our mother had to go through, it was a good thing to have you come along. We've enjoyed you this long, and we might even get some more time together, who knows? But anyway, you did survive the cold, coming into the cold world, and a big family. That's all that mattered. And I want you to know that I really raised you. Our mother was so busy taking care of everything else. And I was 9 years old, so I was the one that was appointed to raise you. And I gave you more than one bath. And you know, that was a Saturday night ritual in the little round galvanized tub in front of our kitchen range, and on the front of it, it had Majestic written on it. And you got kind of wild in the tub. First it was you, and then it was Bob, and then we had to scrub the floor with the water because we didn't dare waste it. But anyway, when I was bathing you, you got rambunctious and you stood up. And then when you sat back down, you put your butt against the Majestic lettering, and you had an M on your butt. But I got scolded for it. It was my fault for not watching you. But it was always fun to raise you. And I also remember when you got your hand hurt in the pulley that day. Somebody had told you to get a hold of the rope, and they were pulling the hay up in the hay loft, and you did it. I don't know how you ever kept from being hurt anymore, but we all cried. I want you to know that. It hurt us as badly as it did you. And Mom and Dad took you to Conrad, and Mom stayed all night with you. But you never let it stop you. Look at today. You're a great carver, a great painter. What more can we ask? Thank you for using your talents. Oh, and I want to remind you, when Ernie and I were dating, we didn't get to go too many places, you know, never had any money. I think the movie was 25 cents then a piece. And he called me one Sunday night and he said, "Would you like to go to the movie?" And I said, "I can't, because I have the boys. Mom and Dad went to visit the neighbors, and I've got the boys." And he said, "Well, let's take the boys with us." And I said, "You wouldn't care?" He said, "Heavens, no." So that's what we did. We took you and Bob to the show with us, and I remember we had enough money between us to go to the show. We bought one sack of popcorn and we all shared it. We had a good time, and I'll never forget that. I don't know if you remember that or not, but I do. And oh, and after we were married, I got so lonesome for you, because having taken care of you for so long, I just missed having you around me. So I used to go over every weekend and get you and have you stay with us over the weekend. And mind you, we did not have a mansion of a house. We had 2 rooms, and we never thought anything of it at all. To have you stay right with us in our bedroom, and we had a wonderful time. And then I'd be satisfied until the next week. So I have many, many good memories. And do you remember when you got married? Carolyn and Cheryl were your little flower girls, and I thought you were too young to get married, and you really were. But that's what you wanted to do, and we couldn't have told you any different. So you did get married. And Mitch, I want you to know, your mother got sick shortly after you were born. If you weren't too old, a month or 2, and I went over and I got you, brought you home in the buggy, and brought your buggy, and that was your bed. And then I had you a week, and after I had to take you home, I really missed having you. So, Mitch, I even have good memories of you. And of course, every time you kids come, you had to ride the ponies, you know, all of you. Bob's kids too. And then I think the only time I remember a sad day was when you moved to California. We hated to see you go. You had those little kids, and it was such a far way back then. But you made it. You went to California, you found work, and you did enjoy it. And it was something you wanted to do, not the rest of us. We had some hard times, but we also had many good times. It just seemed like every Sunday our home was a meeting ground for the neighbor kids. Our cousins would come. And do you remember our dad making us a freezer of ice cream every Sunday? And we always took turns getting to pick the flavor. I remember our mother making strawberry, vanilla, chocolate, any kind. There was maple nut, and some of us would have to clean up the dinner table. Some of us would have to help Dad make the ice cream, crank the old freezer. But to me, that's a wonderful memory. And then we'd play baseball or hide and seek. You name it, we played it. Horseshoe. But the hard part was always sharing that freezer of ice cream with half of the neighbors. They'd come because our dad always played cards or games with us. He'd be the umpire for the baseball games and showed us how to play the horseshoe, and I don't know. We just made up our own entertainment. We had nothing else to do, but I call those good times. Okay, I'm only one of your birthday party, so I'm going to tell you goodbye, have a great year, and I'm glad you were one of the Cokes because we enjoyed you very much. Oh, I want to remember to tell you, thank you for my rooster birthday card. I know you painted it, and thank you for sending a picture of the clock that you made. Jackie fell in love with the rooster, so she's going to have it framed, and that's okay. I told her she can have it because she loves, that's her favorite bird, so she can have it, and the memory will stay forever. So farewell to all of you. Montana is not very nice today, and Mona waited through the snow and the cold to come over and do this for me, but we got it done. Goodbye from your old sister, Floss.